Hi, welcome back. I have some thoughts that I wanted to share now that we're getting more information coming up on the Chris Watts case. The first thing that I'd like to say is that is my personal opinion, and of course can be completely wrong. I have difficulty believing that Chris Watts was so attached. He just didn't look very attached to the girls in those videos that you see, but of course, you know, we just don't know those things, what goes on inside somebody. I have a difficulty that he killed the wife because he believed that she was going to take the kids and he would never see them. Especially, there is all this information about Shanann talking to a lawyer, and the lawyer explaining to Shanann something about the laws when it comes to divorce, that you're not able to take the kids away from the state and things like that, because if you have joint custody and so forth, you know, that he would be so gullible and would believe what she was saying, and he would believe that he wasn't going to have the kids anymore and then killed her. It sounds really childish, gullible, and I have a difficulty believing that he killed because of the kids. I'm more or the belief that he killed because he didn't want the kids or didn't want the wife and had a new flame with NK. So the second thing that I have that I'm questioning is that it wasn't planned, that it was a spur of the moment. I also have difficulty with that. Mind you, trying to figure out what could have been in his mind in terms of planning, because of course he was able to fit in the girls through that opening in those tanks, but he wasn't going to be able to fit Shanann through those openings. So I'm thinking that the only explanation that I have is that yes, he may have put the girls in the tanks, and later or at some point, you know, that there was this leak that was discovered, and he had sent a text message to somebody showing a pipe exploding, a gasoline or oil pipe exploding in some other place. And now there was this leak that was found out, it was discovered, and he was volunteering to go fix that leak. So the only explanation that I have for how to dispose not only of the two girls but Shanann, besides the fact that possibly any investigator would have looked in that area where he was, I don't know if that would have even occurred to them to look inside the tanks, because they didn't even know how to get in them or how he would have put the girls inside there. I don't know if they would have thought of looking inside the tanks. But the question remains about Shanann's body, because hers wouldn't fit through those small openings. So the only thing that I can think of is that he was planning to blow up that place, because when you look up battery tanks on YouTube, you get several news. So it's not a rare, it's probably a rare occurrence, but not as rare as the average person might know, meaning that these tanks can explode. They're highly volatile, and of course that's why they have so many security measures and so forth. But explosions, oil tank explosions apparently can happen, and if you can't prove, you know, that somebody did it, if they knew what they needed to do. He was also loading up that container with gasoline. So we don't know everything about planning, but I keep thinking that he may have planned this, and it wasn't a spur of the moment, and because he was upset that he was going to lose the kids. Have difficulty with that one. But the one detail that I want to bring up is remember when the interrogators were asking Chris Watts about a credit card decline, a credit card charge that was declined for hair products at 2 in the morning, that morning when Shanann got home. And the thought that comes up for me is there maybe a truth that there might have been a fight? Could there have been a fight over money being spent on a mistress, for instance? We already know that there was that issue with the $60-some charge or money that he spent going out with Nicole, and Shanann finding out about it while she was in North Carolina. And could that have been the last of it? Was there more money spent? Did he start running out of the hidden money that he was using to spend on his flare? So yes, so the investigators kept asking. They were asking, do you know anything about this money, this credit card charge that was declined at 2 or 2:30 in the morning? Questions. So did Shanann find out about money that she was counting on? Was somebody counting on a certain amount of money? They were living on credit cards. They had them maxed out. And so was somebody desperate for hair products that they needed to order them as soon as they got home? Could have been. I don't know that you can do that on the airplane, but if somebody's counting on that money and they find out that somebody's using the credit cards on somebody else to buy jewelry, to buy any kind of gifts or any other spending, could that have sparked a fight? And then maybe my belief is that Chris Watts mixes truth with lies. Sometimes he's telling the truth, sometimes he's telling a lie, and it goes back and forth, like somebody else had mentioned. Truth and lie, truth and lie. So don't know that you can rely and believe everything he says. But now we finally have, from the horse's mouth, clearing Shanann of any wrongdoing. A person that is not here to defend herself or to say that she didn't do anything, being accused by her husband of having killed the children. And he's using the same storyline. First he was very angry. He had killed Shanann because Shanann had killed the kids. Now he's saying that he kills Shanann because Shanann was going to take the kids away. Which one is the truth? Doesn't it sound very similar now? It's all because of the kids. He's killing because of the kids. I have a difficult time thinking that he was this attached to the kids and that the kids were meant so much to him. I'm so sorry. I just can't really buy that. Because not only did he murder them, the way he disposed of their bodies. I have difficulty that a father that loved their kids so much would murder them. That he was so desperate because the kids were going to be taken away, or because the mother had killed the kids. That was the original part. No, he killed the kids, but he had killed Shanann because the kids were being taken away. Then he killed the kids that he loved so much. Don't buy it. There was a planning. This was planned. This was cold, calculated, and also he was being said to be a person with no emotions, that show no emotions. He probably didn't show emotions because he didn't have them. He probably didn't have feelings for other people. He have thrills. Those are obvious. The one time in all these videos that you see Chris Watts really enjoying something and you can see real thorough enjoyment is one of the videos where he's listening to a rock concert by Metallica. Oh my God, he's really jamming, and that looks very legitimate, very authentic enjoyment. None of the other videos you can see any show of emotion, and that's why they were saying that he didn't show emotions. He probably didn't have them. He had to look up online when to say I love you. That's a manipulation, I think. Planning when to say, how does it work? Because usually those things are very spontaneous. You feel them, you say them, and you try to think of the right moment, of course. But then he looked up on the internet, how does it feel to be told I love you? And how does the other person feel when they're told I love you? It doesn't look like someone who can relate, who knows what it is to have feelings. And so I don't buy two things. I don't buy that the deaths happened because of the fight. I think that he planned them. And I don't buy that it was because the kids were going to be removed from him, or that he really believed that. Don't buy that he was that gullible. And I don't buy that he cared that much by the way that he killed the kids and he disposed of them. So be wise as serpents, innocent as doves, or wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We'll find out more from the Dr. Phil. I think these are the 3 points, the main points. I do have that question whether there was indeed a fight. That might have been. Did Bella beg for her life by saying no daddy, being afraid that daddy had done something to mommy and he was now going to do the same to her? Kids are not that bad at putting two and two together in terms of danger. I think it's possible when they're saying that she begged for her life is that she was saying, no daddy, don't come near me. That's how I think, if that's true. But I do wonder if there was a fight over money, maybe, because there was that charge that was declined, a credit card charge that was declined at 2 or 2:30 in the morning. And that was when after Shanann got home. The other thing that I like to throw in here is, again, the question about Shanann going to bed with makeup on. She might have not had removed her makeup yet, and therefore she may have not gone to bed. She was showing her routine in some of the videos, showing that she removes her makeup before bedtime and showing how she does that. Could have been the sales pitch, the gimmick on the sales pitch. But she looks like a very tidy woman that would probably remove her makeup before going to bed, unless she was too tired to remove her makeup that night since she got home so late. Okay, signing off from Livingston, Montana. My name is Jennifer. I hadn't told you my name yet, so I may as well give it to you. Have a very nice evening, and we'll know more. We'll have more discussion now after the Dr. Phil show. It must be playing right now as we speak, or it may have already played by now, and more people might have more information. So please comment below.